Hello everybody and welcome to another video tutorial. So for this week's tutorial, the Alice in Wonderland theme was not chosen. Instead it was Birdu, the goddess of the underworld, that was actually chosen. So unfortunately for this image, I didn't have very much reference material available or descriptions. When I was doing some research on this character, it turns out that most of the information is essentially destroyed because of time and age, because the original mythology is from the Babylonian mythos. We do know, however, that she is the goddess of the underworld. So working with this theme, I definitely wanted to have the lava behind the character, and also to show her power and her importance. I really wanted to have her sitting on a throne. So for this, I worked out a rough throne design in one-point perspective for this, just because it seemed like it would give more of an emphasis of her power and the force that she can command, essentially. Now, since most of the reference material I have from most of the goddesses, they tend to actually be portrayed as nude in most cases with some detailing. I worked the initial design out with her in the nude, but I also had very tight-fitting clothes that I added on afterwards. So you can see that I'm working on the details of the horns. I believe at this time period, most underworld gods and goddesses did not have the horned aspect. That's more of a modern development, but it does help reinforce that she's more demonic. And she's not necessarily evil, she's just the guardian of the underworld in this case. So she does have that power, and she needs to be feared essentially by her subjects in order to give her power. So when I was approaching this design, I wanted to have mostly tight-fitting clothing elements. And I wanted to show essentially a strength in her and a roughness in her. So most of the design elements that I ended up adding, and I did experiment with quite a few before I ended up going with the ones I went with, help emphasize that she does have power. She does have this strength to her. There's a reason why she's in this position. She's earned that position. She's earned that trust amongst the gods. So she has acquired this through hard work. Because being the goddess of the underworld, you have to work hard to get that. You have a lot of stuff that you have to do in order to maintain your area. So all these things I kept in mind while I was working on the design. Now, you are seeing a lot of skin for this character, obviously, but there's some more armored elements within it as well. So I'm just starting to add some of the softer tones. Now, as I'm working on this, initially I was using the softy for a round brush, and then I switched to a texture brush afterwards. The reason why I did this is because I wanted to have a somewhat soft look for some shadows in certain areas, but I didn't want it to overtake also that rough grittiness. So by having the soft brush first and then going in with details with more textured brush, this helped give this gritty effect to her, but not overdoing it too, because she is a female character, so she needs to have that female soft look to her, at least in a certain respect. So I'm just working out some of the details in the legs, trying to figure out just how much detail I'm going to add in there, and how much I'm going to tone back, because I don't want to add too much information, because the focus will be essentially her face. You will see on this foot that I'm currently working on that I do end up shrinking it near the end. I don't believe I recorded that, but you will see it. I did spend quite a bit of time on the face for this character, and I had to. Since this character has to have so much strength and appeal, she still needs to look feminine. So I was looking at a lot of reference material. I was really working out the details to really get something that worked well with the character. I ended up resizing what you currently see here, making it a little bit bigger once I had the rough information in there, and recentering it so that it worked better with the design too. So she has very much a high collar look. Her face is very angular, has a very specific shape to it. It's almost horn-like in itself in its shape, and that's something I was really trying to portray as I was working out this design. So some of these details you don't end up seeing in the final image, just because I do add the glowing eyes. it does tend to give her more of a pronounced, powerful look, which is why I ended up adding that in there. So I'm just working on the collar right now, adding some finer details to that. And this image is almost done, actually. You'll see the final image shortly. Looking at the horns. And I'm just like deciding exactly how much structure to show in the horns on that side, because they are essentially on a different angle. Finding some of the arms and the feet a bit more. And this is the final image. As you can see, I added some yellow effects to the overall painting to really emphasize the lava. I added some shine to it as well, and I added some of those glows to the actual final character. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. So thank you and take care.